Welcome back. This is Kirsten with JK Fiber Arts. I am on the Cam Tour de Fleece team 2023 this year. I'm pretty excited. I did this little design logo for their Tour de Fleece Facebook page that incorporates their logo into the rear wheel and the spinning wheel on the front wheel, which I thought was super cool. A great big thank you to my daughter for teaching me how to use Canva. My goal is to do a short video for each stage or one or two stages combined depending on the challenge, and try to stick with the course of the race, including rest days. I don't know if I'll be able to keep that up for 21 days, but I'm going to do my best. And at the end, I'll do a summary of all of the things I've learned and what I've done. Tour de Fleece, day one. I am getting a late start because I needed to finish up a 3-ply sock yarn. I was trying to free up bobbins. I have this beautiful merino milk fiber 7525 with these viscose neps, Peruvian Highland wool with viscose neps. This is the strawberries and cream, and this milk fiber is the whipped cream. And this is 14 micron merino and milk fiber, and holy moly is this soft. So my first challenge is to spin the first 2 days thin. And I know this seems counterintuitive, but I'm going to spin this very thin. And it will have little tweedy, lumpy bumpies in it, but I think that's gonna look super cool. And I'm gonna spin this thick like a fluffy cloud. And it'll be a consistent thick. And then I'm gonna apply it with this thin, and we'll see what it looks like. Here we go. Here we are. Good morning. This is stage 2. And I am spinning thin with this is really beautiful fiber, the merino with milk fiber, and the viscose neps with the South American wool. I'm using my EEW6 from Dreaming Robots. The one thing I really am enjoying about it is the foot pedal. This is really good for spinning thin. I'm not going to spin thick on this because I don't have the same control, and it may just be that I'm not used to this because I've just started using it, that I have with my spinning wheel. There is a bit of a brain to foot to electric response delay when I use the foot pedal, or if I had to reach with my hand, because it slows down. It doesn't just stop. I have better fine control when I use my feet to treadle. But this is awesome for spinning thin. Here we go. So when you're spinning thin, I guess the obvious thing is you're not going to pull as much fiber from your drafting triangle. You want the twist to come not back into the stuff that you're holding. So not... See, now I gotta stop it to explain because I have it set pretty fast. So not into the drafting. You want it to be coming from here. You don't want the twist to get back up in here. That's when it's going to get thick and clumpy. And you'll be able to feel that. And I tend to draft more of the woolen spin, and I tend to pull back when I'm spinning thin, more of the long draw. The other thing that you want to also make sure when you're spinning thin is setting your wheel up properly. And if you're going to spin thin, and depending on what fiber you're trying to spin thin, this has a lot of merino in it, so the twist needs to be a little bit higher. So I have my treadling, as you were, my little dial over here so my speed is higher. I will say that is lovely for spinning thin because the dial really makes it's so consistent. Like, my treadle cannot be that consistent. It takes one of the things out of the thought process, so that's nice. But you can set that speed, and then the other is the draw, which on this one is basically Scotch tension. With the draw, you want to make sure that it's not pulling it too hard out of your hands and drawing on too fast. When I do a long draw, I typically have the tension a little bit less, and I spend more time outside of the orifice. So from right now on my EEW6 wheel here, I'm gonna find a easier name to say than EEW6. On my Dreaming Robot 6 e-spinner here, the speed I have it set at right now, the dial is at noon. I have to stop and look at and see what it says. It says I have it set on 3, if any of you guys have this e-spinner, which by the way is an awesome e-spinner and it's super affordable. And then I'm just doing my plyback test here, and my goal was to spin lace weight for a single, and that's what I'm doing. I am right now at a 40. And I think I have everything dialed in the way I like it, and I like the 40. And then I'm going to use this single, and I'm putting a decent amount of twist in here because I am going to use it as when I ply the thick and thin. I don't want it to break because what a hassle that is. So I'm going to make sure that I have enough twist but not too much in it. And again, I'm going to have these little viscous neps in here. And Mary from Mesh Fibers, this is one of their blends, and she just did a fantastic, just the right amount of viscous neps, because there's not too many, so it's not lumpy bumpy everywhere, just enough. See, there's one right there to give you some nice interest, you know? And I think that's going to look amazing with the milk whipped cream poofy 14 micron, and I'm going to do that nice and fluffy thick. And this, you know, I don't want it to be rope, because I want this to be really, really soft and inviting, like wearing pink floofy clouds. But it will be strong enough that I'm not going to worry about it breaking. I usually will ply when I do thick and thin with silk, even though there's a lot of people who say don't, because it's slippery. But I haven't had too much trouble, but I think, again, it's because I use recycled silk sari, the pulled silk sari, and so it has some texture to it, and it has a bit of grip because of the texture. I think this will also be effective because it has some of those little neps in it, and I think that those will help to provide a little bit of grip. I will see you back. I think tomorrow I'm supposed to spin thick for the Mesh Fiber Arts Tour de Fleece. I don't know if I'm going to do all of all of her challenges. I will probably do some of my own, but I like this challenge and it was on my list anyways, so here you go. And I will see you tomorrow spinning some thick, floofy clouds. Until then, spin happy.